You got it. We got Paul Virzi on KFC Radio. I did his show a little while back, and a new episode of his web series, Dude, You Called It, is out, where I'm looking better every day with that one, Paul. I told him how I was convinced that Steve Cohen was eventually going to own the Mets, and we did this like earlier in quarantine when it was still uncertain, and now my boy is coming to the forefront as the main bidder, and I think it's the first time maybe in my entire history that I predicted something right in sports.
Dude, it's looking really good. As a matter of fact, we had a couple people on. We had Tom Green on. We had Bill Burr, yourself, Tim Dillon, and you look like the one that when we revisit this is going to be the winner here.
Really?
What was Tim's? I feel like Tim predicted like
the downfall of society.
Ghislaine Maxwell. Like,
yeah. What did Tim say?
No, Tim said that he thinks you're not going to be able to enter any ball games or anything moving forward without getting your temperature taken.
Oh, that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
I expected more from Tim, to be honest. I think that's pretty fucking obvious at this point. What you think my boy looks hungover here? 4 p.m. we're working right now, and my man's still going through it. He says he gets 1 or 2 hangovers per year, and this is the one for him.
Dude, all right, I'm going to be honest with you. I just got over mine 45 minutes ago. We went to my mother-in-law's pool last night with the kids, and it was one of those things where she was like, "You want to stay for steaks?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Let me make you this drink I make." And she makes me this one, and it was just in a pool, had the drink. I was like, I need another one of those. Then we go to the cellar and get 2 bottles of wine. Dude, it was, yeah. So it took me until about a good 2 o'clock, a little 2:45 to be like back.
If anyone ever offers you like this drink I make, that's 100% gonna knock you on your ass for a long time. Like no one's like, here's this drink I make and it's fucking pineapple juice. Right. Like it's got like 6 different rums in it.
If you're talking about like it's your mother-in-law who made it, so she's wise. She's a veteran of the game. She's seen some shit. She's cooking up something that doesn't taste bad at all, but will get you absolutely fucking hammered. That's a dangerous one you got to stay away from. Or you just got to. And also, I think when you're drinking in a pool, I think you get drunker in a pool. When you're surrounded by a body of water, it just goes through you faster.
Well, that was my next thing to say, is that if you're in a pool and it's 95 degrees and the pool is amazing and somebody gives you a good drink, chances are you're going at least 1 or 2 more. I swear to God, I do this thing where when I sip my first drink, when I sip number 1 on drink number 1, I know right after that sip I'm having another one.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm having another one. This is just delicious.
I feel like I know when, like within that first sip, I'll be like, we're blacking out tonight. Like, forget about my second drink. I either know, like, that kind of went down like glass, or like, I got some shit to worry about. But when I know, all right, schedule was clear, this drink was good, I got the twinkle in my eye, I can sense that one coming.
I feel like Saturday night around 6 o'clock when you don't have anything else to do on Sunday, and there's either like UFC fights or like somebody's coming over, maybe smoke a cigar and have 1 or 2. Sunday's going to be a little it's going to be a little rough.
I was going to say Monday. Like that. Let me tell you two a little secret. I don't have anything tomorrow but therapy. I am going to get drunk as soon as I finish this interview.
Hair of the dog, baby. It never fails. It never fails, dude. Yo, so, Paul, I had my birthday for my 3-year-old, and I don't know if I can even – I don't know if I should say this, but – coronavirus is the best thing that's ever happened at little kids' birthday parties, man. It was fucking great. We kept it tight. Just had a couple family members over. I inflated a little fake pool. I didn't have to worry about, like, his friends coming over and the parents that I don't really know. I didn't have to rent out a place for, like, $2,000. He splashed around in the pool, had the time of his fucking life. I was like, I wish every birthday could be coronavirus, COVID-19 quarantine. This is great.
Dude, I do a blowout 4th of July party that just it happened a couple years ago, and then it just turned into this tradition. And normally it's like 50, 60 people, and it's a lot, man. I'm barbecuing, finding out how everyone's doing. This year, we were only able to have a small gathering, but I still put on the fireworks show that's incredibly illegal and everybody wants to see. And you know what? When you only got to entertain and make burgers and dogs for like a handful and you still have the same great time, it's like it's the same thing. It's incredible.
It was so much easier. I saved so much money. And what do you think about this move? So I went out. I got a shit ton of presents. I wrapped them all up. Great rapper, by the way. Great present rapper.
Kevin's a very good rapper.
It's my hidden talent. Nobody would realize it, but I can fucking rap. It's like I'm like Martha Stewart with that shit. It's crazy.
Wow, well, you always like that?
Yep.
Or that?
I like ever since we were little kids, like when we would get like a present for our dad or my mom or whatever, I was always the one to wrap it. Even my sister.
Even when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it went back like that.
I see the Matrix with it, bro. I just get it.
Kevin wraps presents so good that you see him and you're like, I hope no one ever opens that.
So guess what?
It looks very nice.
He didn't. Nobody opened those presents. So the one present I had that I couldn't wrap was a big bag of like dinosaur toys, and it was like a clear plastic bag. So he went right for that, was playing with these dinosaurs all day, and had no interest in anything else. So I just fucking took all the presents back, and I'm just going to give it to him during potty training. Every time he pisses in the toilet, here's a gift. Is that okay?
I thought you were going to return them.
No, I'm not going to return them. But is it okay to buy, and then he's not interested in anything else, and I just stash the presents away for another time?
Yeah,
right? Or you can call me, am I being a cheap asshole? Should I just buy another set of gifts too?
I think you're a good dad for thinking of it because, a real piece of shit would just do it.
Yeah.
If you thought about it for a second and you were like, wait a minute, is this a shit? Okay, you know what? And you actually, so that makes it okay.
Oh boy, the bar is so low. All you have to do is think about
so low. You're spot on. You're like, all right, you acknowledged it. You're a good person then.
Yeah. Like a real cheap piece of shit is like, oh, great, next year. Like you actually have to go, is this cool? Like, I am kind of shit, but yeah, no, it's okay. Like, and I think
and then the beauty of it is Corona, man. I mean, I couldn't give him all those gifts. COVID-19. I don't know what that means, but sure, fuck it, whatever, man.
Right.
That checkout lady, she looked a little squirrely. I wasn't sure. I had to save it for a few months.
I can't go back. You tried to get back on stage you did get back on stage right after we talked, or right before we talked, I guess. Are you still back out there, or was that kind of like, I feel like a lot of comedians tested the waters, a couple people tested positive, things didn't go well, and some people shut it down. Are you still out there, or was it just a one and done?
No, so when I went out to Arizona, because once me and my family had the antibodies, I called my agent, and William Morris was really good because they actually called hospitals out there. I got to give them credit. Like they weren't sending me out there, and I wasn't going out there until, even though I had antibodies, until we really asked questions. And they were like 50% capacity. You're going to be completely separated, no meet and greets, blah, 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 this and that. They called hospitals. Everything seemed, and then when I got out there, literally like the days I was out there, I was in the suburbs of Phoenix. So it wasn't that bad, but there were like rumblings of, dude, Phoenix, it's going to be really bad. So I did the shows. The shows were amazing, got back, and then like 2 weeks later, they shut it down. Mm-hmm. And then last week I was at Governor's in Long Island to just do, I was in Levittown. They just said, do you want to do a patio show Saturday night, 2 shows? And I ended up doing that. I was like 12 feet away from the front row of people, and I did it. It sucks because I'm in a weird position. We're ready for the next hour. So the next special, we're ready to go. It's just a matter of the date and doing it. Well, I'll take that though, because it's not like I just put something out and now I haven't worked any material. I'm ready to go.
Right.
Everybody that wants to be a part of this is like, it's better than I'll say this, and I'm proud of I'll say this. So it's like, I'm ready to go. We're ready to put it out there. It's just a matter of when I can do it. But I want it to stay sharp. Mm-hmm. Now it looks like I got to pick and choose where I'm going to go. And it's just like, is it going to be weeks? Because I've said this before, and this is not against any comedians. None of my peers. I'm not trying to talk shit about anybody. People got to make money. But I'm just not standing on the back of a fucking pickup truck yelling at cars. No. I'm going to put on rubber gloves and stand on a picnic table, and I'm not doing it. No. So I work so hard, and those are like such hell gigs when you're coming up. And now that I will do things, but they need to be conducive to comedy, and they need to be what comedy should be.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you feel like when you have the antibodies, I feel like I would be like a goddamn superhero. I feel like I'm in the Avengers. I'd be like walking around like, whatever, come at me, man. I'm good.
I did, until all of these doctors are telling us different things. One
doesn't really help.
Last 3 months. Another doctor is like, it could be like the flu shot, where in a year you can get it again, and they just unfortunately just don't know. So but I do feel better that my body saw it and was like, oh, like if it comes back, it's like, oh, I remember you.
Yeah.
I can fight you again. Yeah. So
right.
I do feel
it's like you won the fight, you got in a scrap, you felt shitty, but whatever. Like, yeah, you can handle yourself. You know what you're doing.
like if COVID was a dude and I saw him at the end of the bar after the first fight, I just
him up,
look at him and be like, "We know what happened the first time. You want to go back outside?"
I had a buddy who didn't have the antibodies. Oh, he has the antibodies now, but he had COVID too, which is weird. I've only had one friend who had COVID. Like I know a fairly good amount of people. I know one person who had this like incredibly infectious disease, but he likes telling everyone that he's invincible, and like he got in like a literal fight about it with his dad, where he was like, "I'll go to the market, I'm invincible," and and his dad was like, "Shut the fuck up! Stop saying you're invincible."
If you know him, it's even better. I get to see him saying that too. I'm invincible. You pussies, I'll do it.
I'll take it. I'm invincible.
That we just don't like. That's the thing. We don't know, and what's scary is they're saying things with their heart.
Yeah.
So like, I'm asking my doctor, like, are me and because my wife, we all had it. So it's like, are we gonna be in 5 years? Is there gonna be something that happens that's because of that? And they're saying they don't think so, but it's just up in the air, man. It's like
you gotta just be a clown to not be cautious. You know what I mean? It's like, sure, you have it, but don't be a fucking idiot. I mean, the people doing meet and greets.
I gotta be honest.
Again, I don't want to. I don't even have anybody specifically in mind. I don't know which comics have done them and who hasn't. But if you're a comic doing a meet and greet right now, not only are you an idiot, you're just a fucking asshole. It's the most conducive thing to spreading disease. You know what I mean? It's like, let's get everybody together and make sure they all talk to you and touch you and get close enough that they can get it and you can spread a fucking disease. It's insane to want to do that.
It's just such a narcissistic, selfish thing to do when it's like, look, man, when this thing goes away, you'll be able to do that all you want. But like, the more you're doing that, the longer we're not going to be able to do it.
Right. Yeah. You're ruining it for like the future. So just shut it down now and wait till it's all fucking better. What else is cooking out there, man? You're up in the 914, right? You're still in Westchester. What's going on otherwise?
Love it. No, nothing, man. It's like without doing the stand-up when we're ready to go, it's building the YouTube channel, which is going great. The Dude I Called It web series, and just trying to, got 2 kids, so trying to stay busy with them.
How old are your kids?
My son just turned 11. My daughter just turned 8.
So you want them back to school, right, bro?
You know what?
I mean, I know you don't if it's dangerous, but you want them to get out of the fucking house, right?
It's because with them, it's just always we will go to a friend's house, stay all day. They're in the pool. They're playing PS4, and then it's a great day. And then as soon as we get home, hey, so tomorrow,
what are we doing?
And they're just like, I mean, we just did that. Like, there could be not 10 minutes of them just having. And I go, why don't you just sit down in your room and play by yourself? He just got an iPhone 11, and he's just like, so yeah. I mean, I don't know if school's gonna happen in September in Westchester.
I mean, if you can't entertain yourself now as a kid, I mean, could you imagine your kids back in the day? I don't even remember what I used to fucking do. I used to just like climb a tree and then jump out of it and like climb it again. I don't know. Before you figure out you can like watch porn and jerk off.
Of shampoo.
You just read shit.
I used to like that's it. I would read. I'd get random ingredients. I would just read. That's what I did to entertain myself as a child.
Some boring ass shit.
How goddamn that's gonna be like my like uphill school both ways kind of deal. Like
I used to read shampoo.
I was like, while I was shitting, I used to read the ingredients of toothpaste.
I'm reading Ajax bottles.
And now you could read anything in the world. Like literally, you could see what's going on. Like with that's the other thing. Me and Giannis just we got guns against our wives.
Oh, okay. This should go good. You 2 idiots with fucking firearms. Let's see how this plays out.
So we go to. It was kind of my fault. Like I said to Giannis, I go, "Hey, dude, you want to go to Dick's? I gotta go get something." He goes, "Yeah."
No.
So I want to get weights. Like he wanted to get like free weights or whatever because all the gyms, everything.
Wait! You guys got guns by accident?
And you're like, fuck it. No, a 9mm will do.
Oh, dude, you're gonna love this. So Giannis, one of my closest friends, neighbor, hilarious. So we talk, we hang all the time, and we were quarantined together. So I was like, he's like, I'll go to Dick's too. Like I needed to get something for my son. Then he's like, I want to get free weights. I can't go to the gym. So I just go, let's go look in the hunting thing. Let's just go. So the hunting thing was emptied out. There was no rifles, no shotguns. But then that got me. You know when you kind of have your mind on something? So then I called another Dick's. And they were like, yeah, I go, you guys got
that wasn't enough of a sign. Don't get guns, Paul. I'm going to now track down the firearms.
And by the way, let me go back and say my wife wanted to have a discussion first because I bought a Lexus once without, like, she just got a call from Geico and she goes, are you buying a car? And I was like, yeah. And that did not go well. So now we go to this other Dick's. I called up. I said, you guys got firearms in there? I said, I'm looking for rifle, looking for shotgun. Giannis and I both first-time gun owners. If we do this, we don't know what we're doing.
I can't believe Giannis is a first-time gun owner. I figure Giannis had a fucking full-on a whole assault room of just things to kill people with.
Yeah. So I see this camouflage 22 rifle, and he goes, that's a single shot. He goes, we got a semi-automatic 10 shot if you want. And I'm like, yeah. So let me look at that. So it's a 22. It's light. It's easy. So then I go, Giannis, hold this thing. Giannis holds it. He's like, oh, my God, this is light, easy. Look like a BB gun. And we're like, yeah, we'll take two. Right? So
how much does a gun like that run you, by the way? I don't know. You could tell me that's like $1,000, $100. I have no idea.
The tag on the gun was $219, but once you got the case for it, the ammo for it, the cleaner for it, you're talking probably $350.
Okay, that's still not. I mean, yeah.
So now we buy we buy 1,100 rounds for $60 in a box. These 22, and it was one of those Dicks where you had to go down in the escalator, so I didn't have service.
You couldn't call. I'm sorry, honey, couldn't call you before I bought this incredibly dangerous thing.
So the guy's like, it's a small game gun. It's possums and squirrels. It's not going to kill anybody. And me and Giannis kind of felt like bitches because there were people online. So I'm like, no, but if we go up close, right?
I could kill someone though, right? I could kill him.
If I put it in the guy's fucking mouth. I was like, if it's up to his temple, he's gone, right? So, there was literally a woman online going, yeah, it's a nice gun. It's kind of like a target gun, but, my dad makes gun. Nothing. It was literally a blonde woman saying that to us. So Giannis felt comfortable because it wasn't too powerful. I felt comfortable, but my wife, we go upstairs. They have to walk. So when you buy a gun at Dick's, just so for your listeners, when you buy a gun, all you really have to have, if it's a rifle or a shotgun, you have to have a valid license with the address on your license matching where you really live, or the registration of your car with the matching address. That's it.
Jesus
then after that, obviously,
guess what? I can't buy a gun.
Yeah, I don't think I could.
If you're a felon, it's over. So they have to walk you out now. So they have to walk you to the car with it, and the bullets cannot be in the trunk with the bullets and the gun need to be in separate parts of the car, backseat, trunk. They can't be together. So I'm paying for this thing, and my wife texts, where are you guys? I said, we're at Dick's. She says, get anything? I said, we just bought rifles. She waited, and then I just saw the three dots, and then she goes, I hope you're kidding. And I look over at Giannis, and I go, dude, you're going to have to come in the house. Because her and Giannis are friends. I go, you got to come in with me. And I go, and he looked at me, and I go, buddy, I've known you for years. I looked at him, guys, with the most sincerity. I go, I've never asked you for a favor. I go, you got to come in the house with me. And he just starts laughing, and then he's texting with his wife, and he goes, hold on, this isn't going great either. True story. My wife goes, you better be kidding and be getting home with flowers or something. Long story short, we go home to our wives. They're not happy. I got 2 bouquets of flowers and the gun. I walk in with the gun and the flowers. I give her the flowers. I call a family.
Guns N' Roses.
Literally, Guns N' Roses. I call a family meeting about this, how serious it was. And I got to be honest, she was only pissed. See, this is what happened. And I'm not trying to encourage your listeners, but this is what happened. I noticed something. She was mad, guys, for probably 2 hours. But then I realized something. She liked it too. She liked it. There's a thing there, okay? And I'm not trying to be some macho guy.
Primal shit though, right? Yeah.
There's a thing where it's like, I'm gonna protect my fucking family. It's only here's a part that I left out.
Well, you gotta protect your family from possums.
Yeah, if your family's attacked by a swarm of quails, then
I I told her online when she said, "I hope you're kidding." I said it's basically a BB gun. That's what I told her. and then she found out that it was not. And we have a friend who's a cop who came over, and Stacy goes, "Paul, why don't you ask? Can a 22?" And my buddy who's a cop, he goes, "Oh, dude, that kills the most people."
That's not why I invited you over here, man.
Let's girls and enjoy our drink.
I love that move of bringing Giannis in because that's like such like a relatable moment when you're like, look, I know my girlfriend's mad at me. Like, will you just stay here for a little bit? You need cover. Like, she's not gonna yell at me if you're here.
Right.
So will you just stick around, please?
She'll berate me. She won't say anything to another woman's husband. You're just there. Literally, get the gun out and provide some cover for me. That's why you're there, man. Did you have to do the same for him?
I blacked out. What's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
No. So we got tickets to when I opened for Burr at the Garden the first time, not this last time, but the first time. We got perks. So we go to Ranger game and we're sitting with like Tom Hanks and we're drinking, dude. Me, Bill, our buddy who owns Gotham Comedy Club, a bunch of people went out, and I mean we're throwing down vodka sodas, like half and halves of vodka and soda, dude. And by the end of the night, we go to a bar after the game. I mean, it was, and I got to come up to Westchester. I'm hanging out with them, and I go to Burr's apartment, and Burr goes, "Virzi, I can't. You got to sit down. You can't go." And I go, "No, I got to." He goes, "You got to sit down." And I had to get my son on the bus at 7:00 in the morning. Oof. He goes, "Dude, I'm not letting you drive. You're not driving." So he goes, "Just sit down, dude, 2 hours," knowing that I'd pass out. Dude, I passed out cold, and I woke up. I looked at my phone. I'll never forget. It was 7:19, and my wife is crying. Say, "I got to explain to your son." And I go, "No, I did the right thing." Anyway, Burr, he jumped on a grenade for me. He called her, and he goes, "Hey," he took a little mustard off the fastball. He goes, "Listen," he goes, trust me, he was in no position, so just kind of go easy on him. So then I went, but you need a friend like if Giannis or Bill or my buddy Bartnick, or like there's a few people that if they call Stace, my wife, and they're like, "Stace, trust me, he did," then she'll still be mad, but it really eases the blow.
Yeah. Yeah, you need, and those are like, and it can't just be any friend too. It's like if you have like, your 10th friend on the list call, it's like I don't give a fuck what Steve has to say. But if it's Giannis or Bill or some like the OG guys, then they get it.
If it's like your top 5 that have been in your home eating dinner with your wife multiple. Yeah, exactly. You can't. And
you know what it is? It's not that she's any really less mad. And maybe Bill explains, you did the smart thing to drive or whatever. Really what it is she now knows that Bill knows the situation, and that if she's like a stark raving asshole to you, like everybody knows. You know what I'm saying? It almost like it makes her be like, well, now I can't be a total dick to him because Bill knows.
Yeah, yes, because then they're gonna ask how'd that go?
Right, 100%. And it's like now you've let someone into our business, so now I gotta like mitigate it a little bit, and also I'm gonna shoot you with the gun, and whatever. My father did the same thing. He told us a story, like the same thing with you and the Lexus. When my dad had I think a Toyota Supra, like an old like 80s like two-door coupe. And my brother was either born or she was about to pop him out, and she was like, we can't have this like sports car anymore. You got to go get like a family car. So he takes the Toyota Supra down to like the dealership, and he gets talked into a second one, and he comes home with another sports car. And my mom was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He was like, "It was a great deal. He gave me this, he gave me that." She's like, "What are we gonna do with two-door coupes, you asshole?" He's like, I couldn't turn it down. You guys just did that with guns, basically. What a world, man.
Dude, my brother would buy my older brother Christian. He's 5 years older than me. He can't say no. He can't say no, like to the point where somebody knocked on his door and sold him a $1,400 vacuum, which he didn't need. He lived in like a studio, and he was just like, "Oh, he was a nice guy." No. And then he started doing the fucking vacuum is no joke though. You gotta
that could happen to you. Oh, if you lived in the era of door-to-door salesman, you would own knives and vacuums and fucking all sorts of shit.
I came to New York for a field trip once as a kid, and like I ran out of like the money my parents had given me.
Buying shit.
No, buying just CDs from guys in Times Square.
Those guys are great. They put it in your hand. They squeeze your hand around it, and they're like, "Well, you bought it. Now you got to give me money. You have no choice."
Like, this is the third time this happened today.
No, you know what? That really says something about the person you are. I believe people like that. So when I was like 21 years old, when I dropped out of college to do stand-up, but I obviously needed income. So I was selling phone, cable, internet, door-to-door in Queens and Manhattan for RCN. And I was literally 21 years old, making like 50 a year. And at 21, that's like, it was like just, knocking doors. But people that you could tell there's some people that just, no, like close the door and close. But then there were those people that like were just like, like you. Like,
I'll listen to you.
Suckers, go on.
Dumb assholes. Yeah, we get it.
People get taken advantage of. No. But, you could tell, man. And it was wild to do. It was wild to see how people would react, man. And I could tell you this. I saw some really fucking wild shit knocking door to door in Queens. And I went to one apartment and I can't prove it, but it smelled like they were cooking or making drugs, and it was weird. Mm-hmm. It was like sterile and weird. One time this woman was like walking to the door angry. And I'll never forget this, dude. She's walking in the door angry, and she comes in, and I don't really see her, but she's dressed nice. She's got like jeans and a sweater, and she gets there, and half of her face was like burned off, and the other half was like gorgeous. And I remember being like, and normally I could, but it took me back because I was just like, because I'm normally, I'm going to fight for the sale. We got more HBOs. We got one HBO. And you saw things, and I remember, and you could see the anger in her, probably obviously because of what she went through. And I was just like, wow. Like, so I saw some things, and it made me feel so bad for her and what she's going through, but it kind of took the fight out of me.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not going to sell you this shitty cable package. You only have half a face.
I saw wild stuff. There were things going on in houses. One guy had like a fucking like reptiles in his house, like chickens running across.
The place that I moved into now, when my landlord, who's like a family friend, when they left and he like went up there to clean it up and shit, there was over 400 fish tanks.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, like 400 aquariums that he was like, you had to walk through it like a maze because there was so many fucking fish tanks.
That's insane.
And he was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with it? He had to like, they just left it and just bounced. And he was like, I have to now get rid of 400 fish tanks that had like weird dead fish and shit in it. People are weird, man.
When David Sedaris has a story about when he was like coming up in New York, kind of same kind of deal, where he was to pay the bills, he was a house cleaner. And he just talks about all the different houses he was in and how weird everything was. And like, I guess it's kind of one of those things that people talk about where it's like, oh yeah, you work in retail, you deal with a lot of people. People are fucking insane,
crazy people,
every aspect of the world.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they are. You if you get if you have any job where you're looking into other people's literal lives, or I mean, you will find the worst in humanity, no doubt. We were talking about this a couple weeks ago. Do you think that in general the world is a good place or a bad place? Like, or are people more? How do we phrase it? Like for the most part, you're going to go about your business. You're going to wake up tomorrow, go to work, see your kids. You're not going to get murdered, probably. You'll probably live your life and it'll be okay. So does that mean the world in general is an okay place? Or do you think that most people are assholes?
Luckily in comedy, it's taken me not only across the United States, but across the ocean, the world. And I think for the most part, in my experience of doing what I do and entertaining and doing stand-up, from what I saw, I think most people are good, but the percentage that's not really, it's actually
horrible.
Right. It's like, so it's a smaller percentage of people that are haters and that are evil and that want to see things just burn. But that small percentage is such a malignant cancer that it feels like more. And I think that's the shit that we're seeing now in the world. I think for the most part, all different cultures right now, I think black, white, whatever, Asian, purple. I think everybody's watching the TV and watching their phones going, wow, the world's a little fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
But I really do. I think that everybody's going, whoa, things are this is nuts. But what they're showing, and as far as what people see is, oh, that's the world right there.
Right, right.
When it's just basically a few cities and a few blocks and a few of these like militia cults pretty much. And we're thinking, but no, dude, I think when you sit and you talk to somebody and you could actually talk to them, I know this shit sounds corny and cliche, but I believe that if you sit with somebody and you have a beer with them, whether they don't believe what you believe socially and politically, but you can actually just try to put yourself in their shoes for a second, and they do the same with you, and you do try to come to some middle ground where you're kind of, because I have family members that are liberal, and I have family members that are very conservative, and I've seen them interact, and sometimes you'll catch a glimpse of them kind of like nodding to each other and be like, oh, I get that. And you're like, yeah, it's just because people just
but they're only willing to extend that courtesy to like family members or friends. Everyone else is just like, oh, you're a stranger, fuck you, I'm gonna shoot you with my gun from dicks, you know.
Yeah, you're never gonna be at a barbecue playing beanbag toss with a guy that's completely different from you and
right.
Hugging.
You're already coming from like-minded. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that, but nobody's really talking, and the divide, dude. I was talking to a couple comedians about the way the country is so divided right now. It makes you almost. People are drawing a line in the sand, where I think back in the day you could be on different sides and still have everything's
okay.
Now
Now well, you know what we need to get back to? There was the time where it was like you don't talk about religion, you don't talk about politics, and then we started talking about all those things. And now I think we need to go back to not talking about those things.
Do you guys remember the movie Sleepers?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No.
And yeah, Sleepers
was dark
brutal.
movie. Yeah.
It was brutal. It was about the kids that were molested by and then they found them, and then it's brutal. But remember, they were in a bar and something came up politically, and another guy at the bar just goes, hey, we don't talk about that.
We don't do that here. Yeah, it's not.
You could talk sports. You could talk we're not doing that here. And it kind of was like, I was thinking about that, Kev, where I'm like, yeah, it should be that again.
Right? Like social media, real life, just we don't do it anymore. The world would be a much happier place.
The world would be a happier place, and we would definitely be. But to answer your question, I think for the most part, the brainwashing that's gone on, and you have CNN battling Fox News. They're going back and forth. So that just makes people. But I think if you took that away, for the most part, deep down inside, I would say people are good.
Once you get in the pool and you drink, your mother-in-law's special cocktail, everybody gets along.
You know what? Listen, I'll hug anybody once I have 2 or 3 of those.
Amen, brother.
And I'm in a nice chilly pool at 95 degrees outside.
I love it, dude. I appreciate the time. So we got The Virzi Effect is the podcast. Dude, I Called It is the YouTube series. Tickets, if anything, ever materializes, God willing, Paul Virzi.
Coming up at the Funny Bone in Connecticut in September, Salt Lake City in October. Both of those right now are still on. The YouTube channel we just launched is doing great. And Dude, I Called It right now with KFC. The episode's doing great. Your prediction of the Mets owner coming back into the picture is looking really good.
God willing, dude.
You said that weeks and weeks ago. Yeah. And Tom Green predicted that he's going to find Bigfoot, and he was serious.
Yeah, he's a big-time truther, yeah.
Him and Pedroia?
Yeah, Dustin Pedroia.
Pedroia's a big one.
Yeah, no fucking around. Dustin Pedroia
thinks that there's Bigfoot?
Yeah. And he's like, how could it not be real? It's on a flag or something like that.
We've seen a picture, dude.
He's like, in Oregon, they have it on a flag, or it's on their state. There's something about it where he's just like, it's 100% real. Like, he gets mad if you question him on it. He's like, yeah, of course it's fucking real.
That's great. Well, dude, thank you. And yes, and I got so many other people on the Dude, I Called It thing. And the special right now, man, it's doing great. There's a resurgence because of the pandemic, so I appreciate it, man.
You got it, dude. We'll talk soon, all right?
Thank you so much, Paul.
Have a good one.